destroy my world!
Alright, what is going on, everybody? Today we have another Marvel Rivals video for you today. And today we're actually going to be looking at this tweet from Samju, who is a very well-known, very beloved Twitch streamer slash YouTuber that plays Marvel Rivals. I think he's mainly known for playing Black Panther. And today I wanted to talk about this tweet that he ended up posting. And it says here, "I know I'm not a big streamer, so my words probably won't mean much, but please can we, for 1 or 2 seasons, stop with the new heroes and focus on new maps and comp and actual balance changes. Like, it's so boring playing the same maps all day versus the same poke comps." And then he tagged Marvel Rivals. So this has been getting a lot of attraction because this, I feel like, resonates a lot with a lot of players and just a lot of people in general, both like mainly casuals, I would say. And honestly, like, I at first kind of had this same sentiment, like, you know, maybe we should maybe they need to slow down with the character creation, like the whole 1 character a month type stuff, and just focus on like balancing and, you know, the same thing that Samju is currently saying, like new maps, balance changes, and so on and so forth, and make the game like I guess healthier or more balanced. And it's been sparking some like debate in the community of whether like this is even like possible, right? Because to me, I'm more on the sense of like the question is not necessarily like, because this is a very heavily like this tweet is a very heavy implication that basically like if NetEase stops working on characters and focuses on maps and balance changes, that, you know, this comes with a heavy implication that basically if you take like if NetEase just stops doing or slows down on creating characters, that all of a sudden we're gonna get more maps and better balance changes. I am not a developer, and neither is Samju. I don't know Samju, but I know for sure he doesn't play or he doesn't work for NetEase, right? So for me, like, people will see this, like mainly casual players, they'll see this tweet, they'll read it, and in their heads it makes sense, right? Like, if you stop putting your manpower on one thing and add it to another, then this other thing will just, you know, we will accelerate in success in this other department, right? I'm not under the belief that this is actually the case, mainly because, well, like, how do I say this? Basically, NetEase has a team for creating characters, they have a team for creating maps, and they have a team for balance changes, right? So them transferring people from other departments of the team to the map creation side of things and the balance changes side of thing, like, it's just not gonna do anything. That's like saying, let's go get people that work in customer support and bring them to the warehouse to help accelerate like warehouse production. It's like, that's not really, or vice versa. Like, it just doesn't work like this. And like I said earlier, like, any person that is not a developer, and I'm not a developer, but it's like, you really have to think about these things, right? Because I'm pretty sure, like, if this was the case, like, a lot of companies would probably just end up doing it. And it just doesn't work like that, bro. Like, you can't just stop production in one side of the game and then add them to another, and with the implication that they know how to, like, do you think people that do characters in Marvel Rivals, like, do you think those same people know how to make maps? Do you think that those same people know like how to appropriately fine tune and balance the game? I'm going to bet everything and say hell no, they don't. They're in their own separate team category for a reason, right? And this isn't necessarily we need to stop creating characters so that we can have better maps or more maps and real better balance changes. That's not how we should approach this. Instead, we actually just need to advocate for more maps in like actual, you know, comp and quick play, and actual better changes like for the balance. That's all we have to do, is just advocate for more of this, because realistically speaking, the fact that we don't have new maps in the game, because here's the deal, we do have new maps, it's just not for comp, it's for social hubs and 18 versus 18, Doom matches, right? We do get maps. It's just not for comp for the majority, right? So, and this is one thing that I heavily agree. Like, we do need more maps. I would love more maps. I would like more game modes, and I would like better balance changes as well. This is a lot of things that I personally have a major gripe with the game, because it's like, if the balance changes is not going to be up to par with up to standards, then at the very least we can then at the very least we can have more maps, more game modes, more bans, better bans. Like, get rid of the double bans and just have like just an overall better game, right? To make up for the other side of the department that's clearly lacking. So this tweet, right, where it's like, let's stop production in one side of the game in the hopes that the other side, the other department, like, goes higher. It's not like stats. It's not like Elden Ring where you remove strength and add it all to your like your fucking, what is it called, the one for magic. Like, get rid of all your strength and put all your stats in magic, and all of a sudden, like, you know, your magic does more damage or some shit. Like, it doesn't work like that in real life. You can't change the stats like that, right? These are completely different departments. But I'm just gonna go on a whim, because a lot of my friends say the same thing. They need to slow down in doing all these damn skins, stop doing skins, stop releasing characters, and just focus on maps and balance changes, right? And that is a very natural gamer thing to think, and I think it's fine, right? Because it's just venting. It's just you know, you're frustrated, but the logic is just not that. Like, that's just not how it works. You can't just respect, you know, a company like NetEase, right? Especially one that has like a crap ton of people working on it. So basically, but like I said, like, Samju in this tweet, like, you can clearly tell he's frustrated with like the way the game is currently is, right? Where we're not getting new maps, we're not getting new game modes, we still have double bans, the balance changes are garbage, the meta is so annoying, right? Like, and I know, like, someone like Flats, right? Flats, I did see his reaction to this tweet, and he basically said, like, balance changes is subjective, and he said some stuff that I don't really agree with. He said, like, I don't want to misinterpret what he said, but he does agree with everything that Samju is saying. But the whole thing with the balance side of things, with his take on balancing, the philosophy on balancing, I don't agree with, because I do believe that there is a level, there's levels to these things, right? It's not purely subjective, right? Like, there's a reason why, like, certain characters get killed off right away and some characters don't, right? For example, Elsa Bloodstone in Daredevil, right? Daredevil came out and he's so busted broken. He's getting slaps on the wrist type nerfs. And then you have a character, for example, Black Cat. Black Cat comes out, she's really broken. 2 months later, she is straight up, they might as well just erase her from the game, right? They might as well just deleted her from the game, because she's just utterly useless now. So it's not really subjective, right? Especially when the game has what, like 27 DPS characters, right? And there's like really not that many tanks and supports compared to that amount of DPS. So it's like, yeah, of course we're gonna have way more broken, annoying DPS meta compared to that of tanks and supports. Like, there was a point where supports were really, really annoying to play against, right? Like, Cloak and Dagger had like 14 second ult. Luna had 50 second ult durations. That shit was fucking annoying, and they nerfed it appropriately, right? And then, so it's like, it's not necessarily subjective. There's levels, is what I'm trying to say. There's levels. There's certain points where it's like, for example, Blade. Why did it took all this time for Blade to actually be playable, right? Why is Gambit still getting banned, even getting so many nerfs? And at this point, it's just like, to me, it's probably because they're not focusing on the right things, right? Because the main problem with Gambit is not necessarily his neutral game, it's his ultimate. Daredevil gets a crap ton of shields, he's really mobile, he does a lot of damage up close. He can get away really fast. And that deflect shit is just so... why can it do all that? Why is it able to do all of that? That's why I loved Devil Dinosaur when he came out, because you can very easily counter Daredevils. But that's besides the point. I basically wanted to make this video because this tweet did spark a lot of how do I say this, community opinions to rise, right? And so for me, I just wanted to get my 2 cents in. Maybe this video will resonate with some of you guys, because I do understand where Samju's going. I'm not necessarily like, Samju is just not, he's a really nice guy and he's really good at the game, and he in this tweet resonates with a lot of casual players. But while I do agree that we do need new maps in comp, not just social hubs and 18 versus 18 and do matches, we actually need maps for the game, right? The actual main game, and we need a better balancing changes, right? Like for example, Widow and Wanda. The part that gets people talking is the part where he says, can we for 1 or 2 seasons stop with the new heroes, right? That is not gonna do anything. if NetEase stops making heroes for 1 or 2 seasons, the only thing that's gonna change in Marvel Rivals is player numbers. Player numbers are gonna go down, and we're just not gonna get what, like 4 heroes. We're just missing out on 4 characters, and everything else would just go on as intended. We're still gonna get barely any maps. We're still gonna get some garbage ass balance changes, right? Recently, in my opinion, the balance changes has been pretty decent compared to a lot of the bullshit that we've been through. So at least there's that. In my opinion, I'm at a point with this game now, right now in this season, my priority of like complaints have went from balance changes and quality of life to now matchmaking, quality of life, and then balance changes, right? Balance changes is no longer for me the top of the top priority. It's more so, like Samju said, new maps and just, you know, quality of life updates like map voting and new game modes. So that's the only thing I would take away from this tweet. This tweet is actually, like I said, it resonates with a lot of players. It resonates with a lot of people. But this is the type of shit that I say with me and my friends. This is the type of shit that me and my friends say when we're losing a lot of games, right? So while I do agree that we need new maps and better balance changes, the way to go about it is not to stop releasing more characters. It's to just simply advocate for new maps, advocate for better balance changes, advocate for getting rid of double bans. That sort of stuff. We need to just advocate for more of the things that we want and stop thinking that we can just transfer people that do characters into other departments that they're not specialized to do. It just doesn't work like that. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy. Please make sure you like